Okay, so lots of new wars popped up over the break. And mainly, the target is going to be Australia. So Indonesia declared war on Australia, arguably the biggest war that was declared. But the thing is, Indonesia's kind of far away from Australia, especially due to the colonization. Ethiopia has kind of eaten up a lot of these lands here, and eventually they're probably going to close these borders down. But we'll see what happens with the Indonesians and Australians. Kimberley also declared the same war, but Kimberley's not going to be as much of a threat. We've got the Ashanti and Siam both declaring war on Sweden, so maybe we'll see somebody else go after Sweden. I don't know if Norway kind of caught up in terms of technology. They look like they have a lot more units than Sweden, but technology is what's kind of killed Sweden. I'm sorry, technology is what's killed Norway this entire game, which is, yeah, not good. And then the Inca are going to be the ones, I believe, to destroy the Mayans. Although the Shoshone are also involved, and they are right here, not too far away in Baja California, so we'll see. It'll be a race to see who takes to call. Okay, so over the break, I figured out that these Viet Cong units are powerful, very powerful, but they can't take cities. And that's a big issue, especially for the AI, because they can't take cities, obviously. So the AI doesn't realize that. They think they're just regular infantry units, but these units cannot attack. So unless they grab, or I guess buy a privateer or some sort of melee boat, that's the only way I can really see this. Oh my gosh, how many people are going to join this Australian war? I mean, Rome's a pretty big war. I don't know who would be a big threat to Australia, though. They still are pretty safe here. Siam is kind of interesting to see that. And the city still has not fallen to the Champa just yet. But why? I want to see if I want to see if Argentina declares war. Whoa, okay, so now the Inca as well. Now, Persia and Australia have had a previous conflict in the past, and that was actually pretty intense. I thought that was interesting. Obviously, Persia really not prepared, though, at this point, to fight someone like Australia when they're dealing with the invasion of Ethiopia. But actually, they're doing okay so far. They're not bad. They're holding back everybody. I mean, some of their cities... Wait a second, this city was taken from Ethiopia, wasn't it? That was an Ethiopian city, I think. And how did that happen? Oh my gosh. Is Persia taking cities from Ethiopia? Because I don't think anyone really guessed that. I mean, I think that that's probably going to shift back towards Ethiopia's side because a lot of these units are coming out in the Indian Ocean. But, maybe a lot has to do with their air force. If Ethiopia doesn't get up some sort of anti-aircraft regimen, then they're going to be in a tough spot. Did the Mongols declare, or did they settle just yet? No. Here they are. No, they have not settled yet. Russia has not decided what they're going to do with their armies as well. I wanted to see if they'd attack Persia, but maybe not. Did California settle? Nope, California is continuing to go just north of Mongolian lands. And how's Sweden doing? Sweden's doing fine. Nobody else has decided to attack. What about the Roman-Byzantium War? Yeah, they're having a tough time as well. Especially without Argentina. Especially without artillery, is what I was trying to say. Without artillery, yeah, that's not going to be an easy one to win. And Lisbon is fine. They stopped the Chile invasion. We've got Washington moving more units around. The Inca are going to invade. Oh, this Mayan settler is pretty much screwed. There's no way he's going to be able to get off the continent and go towards the Pacific, especially not before that city gets taken in the first place. The city's going to fall almost no matter what. California actually heading down south. Maybe they're going to want to grab a piece of maybe Southeast Asia, some of the Pacific Islands out this way. Still a lot of land to settle. Definitely still a lot of land. This is all opened. Let's see what the Champa do. So yeah, this privateer is here. Oh... that is not good for them. The Champa just lost their riflemen, which means that they will not be able to take the city over anymore. Not unless they bring in some reinforcements. And I'd like to see the Vietnamese get a privateer here because they should take this city. They're killing a lot of the population accidentally, actually. But I didn't even realize that. Oh, yep, and Kingston has fallen. Kingston has fallen to the Sioux. And that will be the first out of many more Canadian cities, I think, that will fall. Quebec already at yellow. We've got Ottawa in the yellow as well. So we're going to see, I think Canada will be destroyed. St. John's might stay alive for a little while, but I think ultimately Canada will be destroyed. Oh, that's a good move by the Mongols. Okay, so the Mongols declared war in Tibet. Very interesting. All these new wars popping up. I don't really know why. I like it. Keep the wars coming. But, yes. Maybe Russia. Is Russia still at war with Tibet? Because that would be interesting. I don't know. We also need to keep an eye on Australia. Now, none of those wars that were declared for Australia, they're not really a big threat. Australia is very, very safe in this location. Oh, I think Argentina is at war with Australia, maybe. France and Argentina peacing out. Or maybe not. Ooh, what is happening here? Also, did anybody declare war that had a colony out this way? Anybody that declared war in Australia, did they have a colony? Because Australia might be able to grab that away from them. It is interesting to see Australia with such a weak navy. I'd expect them to have something way more powerful. But for them, luckily, they only have 2 puppets. They've got 5 cities, though, that are fully controlled by their government. Korea looking like they're about to invade India, which would be a smart move by them. Yeah, very smart move by them. So the Mongols probably going to be invading Tibet very soon. Now, this way, they had a tough time taking that first Tibet city. And they even had a lot of help from Russia, too. This is still going to be tough. This is why I don't choose to have mountains. I mean, I've definitely considered for the next campaign to let the mountains be, except for in Europe. Not in Europe, though, because it's ridiculous in Europe. But everywhere else, I was going to consider just letting the mountains stay. It's just so frustrating because the AI does not know mountains. They do not know how to navigate mountains. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe I'll just keep a little bit more, but I don't like Tibet should have fallen a while. Actually, no, I take that back. The AI has just been incapable of taking these 2 cities. The only time we saw mountains have a really big impact was when the Mongols attacked from the south, this Tibet city in the north. And the only reason why they took that, though, was because of Russia. Russia had some reinforcements there. Let's see what Indonesia does. Now, they do have 5 aircrafts, and they just sent them down someplace. Where'd they send them to? Well, I don't know, but Australia has no air force whatsoever. Australia does have their unique unit, the Diggers. That's what they're called, right? Diggers? Digger, yeah. Where did the other 3 go? Oh, okay, so just two were sent over this way. Maybe Indonesia's thinking about attacking Southeast Asia, and I thought we'd see that a lot earlier in this campaign. Oh, man. Okay, so the Ethiopians are coming back with a vengeance, and actually they're bringing back a lot of artillery units and a lot of melee units. So if you're Persia right now, you better worry. You better get up more of those planes. I think there's nothing you can do about saving your colonies in the Arabian Peninsula. If I was Darius, I think he's going to have to let them go. It's just too hard to reinforce them. Also, how is the Babylonian-Persian relationship? Are they still on good terms? They're still open borders, so yeah, I guess they're still on good terms, but Babylon would really benefit if they backstabbed right now. You might see a powerful Babylon in the Middle East, which is something that we've never seen before. Spain's still surviving in Barcelona. I know a lot of people are at war with Spain, but nobody's been able to take them down just yet. Any wars? No, okay. Rome's staying quiet. How's the British doing? British are probably going to stay quiet as well. Boom, Ottawa has been taken. Sioux are getting really powerful now. The Sioux are getting very, very powerful in North America. How are the Chinook doing? They have great war infantry, where we have the Sioux with infantry. But the further we go into this campaign, the less technology is going to have an impact. Right now, it's making a pretty big, drastic impact because we've got civs without any air units and then civs with a bunch of air units. But in terms of melee units, you're going to stick with infantry for a very long time, and at the very end of the tech tree, you get to mechanized infantry. And Honestly, I don't see the AI builds very many mechanized infantry, and maybe that's because we don't ever get that far along in the campaign for that tech to be utilized. But once you get infantry, I mean, that's really good enough. I mean, you're not really going to be fighting any stronger of melee units. Not usually. I mean, the mech, obviously the mechs do come sometimes, but it's a while. It takes a long, long time. So, boom. Okay, so a peace deal did occur. Did Persia retain this city? They did. I honestly have to say that Persia won that war. That is, I think, because remember, not only did they take this city away, I'm pretty sure that was an Ethiopian city. Even if it wasn't, this city was taken away from Ethiopia. I'm surprised they didn't take more cities away from Ethiopia out here in the Pacific, though. But ultimately, Darius held his ground. When he had, like, not even, I think he didn't have even close to the military power that Ethiopia had. I've got to really give a lot of respect, a lot of credit to Darius here. That was amazing to see him hold back. Huge war. And it ended up being pretty stagnant, but I'd give more of the war score to Darius, I think. Although he did lose a lot of units in the process. I mean, both parties lost a lot of units in the process, but obviously I think that Persia lost a little bit more. Either way, they still kept their cities, grabbed an extra city out of it. That's huge, though. And we'll see if this plays any sort of role in Africa. I don't think it will. I don't think the Congo have any desire of going to war with Ethiopia. Are we seeing citadels being dropped? Not really. I don't see any citadels dropped along the Ethiopian-Congo border. Oh, here they are. But that was against the Boer. Yeah, that was mainly to push out the Boer from South Africa. How about the Ashanti? Yeah, the Ashanti are pushing the Congo. And that actually might be the reason why I think the Congo never really wanted to go after Ethiopia because they feel the threat of the Ashanti. The Ashanti are pretty scary. Ooh, lots of aircraft units here. We've got Ethiopians now declaring war on Vietnam. That's kind of interesting. And was that even taken? That was... Oh, yeah, that was during their turn. For a second there, I thought that wasn't during their turn. I thought we were in the mods. I was like, how did they declare a war out of turn? But no, well, yeah, they definitely declared that at the right time. That's very sad because Vietnam, they're losing units. They're losing units here, and the AI doesn't understand. That sucks. That really, 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 really sucks because they can't take a city with the Viet Cong. Ouch. That makes me feel really bad. Well, I mean, we'll have to keep that in mind. Oh, the Canadians are going to survive. Did they lose any more cities in a peace deal? Yes, they did lose one more, but they held on to Quebec and Saint John. So that's at least Canada survives, right? Now the Sioux are officially at peace for the first time in centuries. If I'm the Californians, the Chinookans, the Shoshone, Texas, or Washington, I'd be freaking out right now because you've got the Sioux still with a very powerful army. Still technologically advanced, and they're at peace. And that is going to make things interesting. So many crappy cities up here in the snow. It's funny. Yeah, so North America might not remain peaceful for much longer. The Inca should be taking this over, although they do have a lot of ironclads. Oh, man. So now we have the Ashanti joining in against Vietnam. How's the Mongols doing? How are the Mongols doing against Tibet? They're okay. Yeah, they're okay. But they're gonna have to fight through some units. Tibet still has units protecting their capital. I think Russia wants a little piece of Tibet too. That's why they're going around Mongol land. That would explain, I think, a lot. Let's check on Australia. I know that they're dealing with kind of a coalition here, but they seem to be fine. Indonesia, they do have a few ships. Oh, and Indonesia's bringing over a little bit more, too. Yeah, okay, there's actually a lot of ships in the Indian Ocean. Yeah, so Indonesia, who was kind of approaching South Africa for some reason, kind of coming back now. And I think we're going to see a lot of these ships sent over towards the Australian front. Yeah, more than likely. So Australia's not going to be able to... And maybe some of these units, too. That will be interesting. What's going on here? So still no melee unit. This privateer is really kind of keeping them safe. But some more Champa riflemen kind of coming across. Cannot believe cross. I'm sorry. I for some reason throw a T at the end of crossed. Coming across. I cannot believe that Darius survived that. That is amazing. That is legit amazing. That Persia's fine. I mean, now he can set his sights on somebody else. Now, the thing is, though, Persia's in a tough spot either way, because now, who can he really go to war with that would be an easy victory? Maybe Arabia, but that's about it. Pretty much at this point in the campaign, we're come to the point where, like, almost all the wars, almost all front wars will be very bloody either way. Rome has not had luck at all taking Constantinople. This has been, I think, a pretty big disaster for him. But we all knew that. That's why I really wasn't paying attention to it, because we knew that it was going to be a big disaster for him. Love that the British are building up more troops. Really, really like that. Although the British only have 4 annexed cities. I guess annex isn't technically the right word, but they've only have 4 founded cities. All the other ones that they captured are still puppeted. I mean, these cities are bad in population, so I wouldn't advise to annex them. But Amsterdam, yeah, definitely. Amsterdam should be annexed, like, ASAP. No excuse there. And I'm sure this open borders agreement is going to end. Oh, Rome is coming over. Ooh. Oh, that's bad. Oh, this hurts my soul a little bit. Like, this really hurts my soul, because Vietnam should have had a huge victory here. I don't know. Maybe if I was this modder, I would maybe rethink the Viet Cong unique ability. Because as an AI, I understand. The AI doesn't understand. Like, these are infantry units. To them, they're unique infantry units. I don't think they understand not being able to attack. I mean, this really hurts the Vietnamese AI. That sucks. Brazil and Colombia. Do they have a border in they do have a border. Yes, okay, so Colombia's going to gain, I think, a city out of this. I think they're going to eliminate Salvador because Brazil has nothing else. Colombia also declared war on Sweden, maybe to get some extra diplomatic points or something like that. Let's see what Colombia decides to do. Brazil's got, like, no units. This should be a easy pickup for the Colombians. But at the same time, I thought that Korea was going to declare war on India. I wasn't expecting a Vietnamese declaration of war. We might see Siam decide to join in as well. I mean, yeah, because I think that the Koreans should just roll over Vietnam here. And Hanoi is almost completely undefended right now. I mean, this city is going to fall pretty quickly. And then Hanoi at 31 population. This is a big, big city that I thought Vietnam would be safe for the entire campaign. I guess not anymore, but we'll see. Anyways, guys, I'm going to have to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.